Welcome to today's episode of One Drink, 3 Bars Last Call. We're going to do something a little special today. We are going to pay tribute to one of the most famous album covers of all time, Nirvana's Nevermind. And in case you haven't heard the news, this guy, his name is Spencer Elden, and he's a grown-ass man now. And when he was a baby, his parents signed him up to be on here. They made a couple $100. Spencer went on to celebrate this, to do recreations of this photo. He even tried to get remaining members of Nirvana involved in his art show. However, they snubbed him. And after that, he decided that this was a problem and that he would sue the record company over it being child pornography. So we thought the best way to pay tribute to this in cocktail form would be to make a drink that's blue in color and features the little baby going after the dollar. I made these earlier today, and if you're interested in how I made these, keep watching until the end of the video, but we'll make the cocktail first. What is this, $1 for ants? So I decided to kind of come up with my own drink for this. I was primarily concerned with the color, so it's not going to be anything too fancy. It's going to be kind of a refreshing rum lemonade. So for my ingredients, I've got Bacardi Limon Rum, triple sec, simple syrup, and some freshly squeezed lemon juice. And then to give it that blue color, I'm going to use this Mountain Dew Frostbite Zero Sugar. Now, if you don't have Frostbite or a soda that's blue in color, you could use Sprite instead. And then to give it the blue color, you could substitute blue Curacao for your triple sec. We're gonna build this in a shaker, and then we're gonna pour it over this pebble ice, which I picked up locally at the Sonic drive-thru. A lot of fast foods have this. Zaxby's has it. I'm sure if you're in an area that doesn't have Sonic or Zaxby's, you can get this somewhere. But let's get to work making the drink. We're gonna start out filling our shaker tin with ice. And this is just regular old ice with 2 ounces of the Bacardi Lemon Rum. I do 1 ounce of triple sec, half an ounce of fresh lemon juice, half an ounce of simple syrup. Shake it all up. Pour that in here, and then we're going to top it off with our Frostbite. Notice that it's a very pale color, so this will be perfect. So now we've got our nice blue color, and we're going to take one of the baby garnishes we made earlier and just stick it in here. And then we're going to take a lemon and cut a little wedge of it, and we're going to use that to kind of have a place to anchor our dollar that the baby's going to be chasing after. The dollar, and put it in at kind of an angle, so when we put this lemon on the edge of the glass, it'll kind of be hovering right over where the baby is. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to cut a little slit in it so it rests on the side of the glass a little more easily. And then we're gonna kind of like aim our baby toward it. I'd say that's a pretty decent representation of the Nevermind album cover. The first thing we're going to do to make our Nevermind drink is to print out some tiny play $1 bills for our baby to chase. So I'm getting images of the dollar from the Wikipedia article for the United States dollar. If you go to this URL and scroll down a bit, they have pictures of the front and back of all the bills. So I'm going to start out by downloading the front of the bill, and then you can just hit next and you can get the back. And once I have those, I'm going to go over to Photoshop, and you can use any image editing software you have, but I'm going to just start I'm going to save that as dollars.psd. And I'm going to go ahead and open the 2 downloaded dollar bill images. And now that they're here, I'm going to go to select all and edit copy and edit paste. I'm not using the shortcuts so you guys can see what I'm doing. And we'll do the same thing. I'll use the shortcuts for the front. So Control A, Control C, and Control V. And I'm going to take both of these and kind of spread them out so we can see them both. I'm just like nudging down the back. Now I have them both selected. I'm going to hit Command T, and I'm going to resize them to about 1 inch wide. So I think that's about the perfect size. So now that I have a set of those, I'm going to duplicate them a bunch of times just by dragging them to the plus sign at the bottom of the layers palette. I'm going to make several just in case I mess them up or if I want to make more than one drink garnish. So I'm going to put them all in this group called row, and I'm going to duplicate the group, duplicate it again, and I think that's good. I'll save that and I'll print it. Okay, the most important part of this drink is the garnish, so we're gonna work on those first. I'm gonna show you how to make this little guy and the dollar for him to chase. So the first thing you'll need is the sheet of dollars we printed out earlier. You'll need some of these 4-inch clear prism picks, some glue, some hot glue, needle and thread, and finally a bag of babies. These are little plastic babies that I got in the baby shower section at Party City. I'll put a link to these on Amazon below in case you can't find them locally. So I'll start out by cutting out the front and the back of the dollar. This doesn't have to be too perfect. We can trim them up after we glue them together. What is this, $1 for ants? So now that I have both of these, I'm gonna make sure they're oriented correctly. And then I'm gonna use my glue stick to glue them together. And like I said, these were printed on an inkjet. If you have better ideas of how we could make a more water resistant version of this, then please leave a comment below because I would like to make an even better version of this next time. So these are glued together. I got them pretty even with each other. If you could tell that they were glued together, you can also trim the sides a little bit. But I think that this one is good to go. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take this small needle and poke a little hole in it to run the thread through. I have this light blue thread that I selected because I think it'll blend in with the drink pretty well. It won't be too visible. But we want it to be a little visible because you can see it on the album cover. So I'm gonna take a little bit more of that than what I'll need. I'm gonna thread this needle. Gonna put that through the hole we made earlier. And I'm very carefully gonna tie this. A second time. There's that. I'm going to cut off my excess thread. And now we have our dollar for the baby to chase. We still need to attach it to something. I'm going to take this and kind of stick it in a piece of fruit or something so it's suspended over the drink. We're going to grab one of these and we're going to put a little bit of hot glue on it. And then decide about how much you want hanging down. I think that'll be good. And then take the rest of your excess string and just wrap it around so it's in the glue. That'll make it really secure. So here we have it. So next we're gonna make this little guy. And I've customized this for the glass I'm using. I took one of the picks and I cut the bottom off, so when I put it in the glass, he's just like perfectly lined up with the drink. He'd be a little too high up if I hadn't done that. So for me and my glass and my preferences, it was about here. And it's kind of hard to cut through these with scissors, but sometimes they do cut through it, and if they don't, you can kind of shear it so you can break it yourself, like weaken an area, but you can just go like that. So we're gonna take this and we're gonna take one of our little babies and put some glue on his leg. You don't need much. And we're gonna take the skinny part and put it on there as it blends in a lot better. And like having the bottom like down in the glass, I think it helps it stand up a little better. It won't matter too much because we can, when we put the ice and stuff in, it'll help it stand up better. And let that dry a little, but this is what we'll have. So we'll have the little baby here, and we'll have a lemon slice, and we'll just kind of puncture it with this, and this will be right in front of him. And with the blue drink, I think that it'll look a lot like the Nevermind album cover.